Welcome to General News for July 16, 2026. The New York Times is fighting Department of Justice subpoenas over Air Force One reporting, while Senate leaders question the CDC nominee on whether she can maintain scientific independence under the new administration. The New York Times has filed a motion to stop the Department of Justice from using subpoenas against its journalists. These reporters were investigating security concerns surrounding the new Air Force One, which was a gift from Qatar. According to The Guardian, the Times argues the government is acting in bad faith. They say the subpoenas are an attempt to punish the paper for its coverage and a violation of constitutional press freedoms. This case is a major test of whether the government can force reporters to give up their confidential sources. David McCraw, the newspaper's senior vice president and deputy general counsel, says the motion is about defending the right of journalists to report on the administration. If the government wins, it could fundamentally change how the press investigates national security matters. That same question of independence, whether an expert can stand up to political pressure, is playing out in the Senate Health Committee. Erica Schwartz is the administration's nominee to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. During her hearing, senators pressed her on whether she would resist the vaccine-related policy agenda of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Schwartz, who previously served as a deputy surgeon general, pledged to use radical transparency to rebuild public trust. She told the committee she would never betray the science. She did not specify exactly how she would handle direct political pressure from the administration. The hearing leaves it unclear how the CDC will manage the friction between political appointees and career scientists. A new Pew Research Center poll shows a significant shift in how the world views major powers. In 25 out of 36 surveyed countries and territories, more people now hold a positive view of China and President Xi Jinping than they do of the United States and President Donald Trump. This includes sharp shifts in Canada and Mexico. In Canada, favorable views of the US dropped from 57% in 2023 to 30%. Researchers say this is driven by declining perceptions of the US government, citing tensions with allies and American involvement in conflicts in Israel and Gaza. The US still leads in how it is perceived regarding personal freedoms, but that gap is narrowing. Global confidence in the American government's respect for those rights has slipped since 2021. In many of these regions, people report low confidence in both leaders, even as China's overall favorability climbs. While global sentiment shifts on a geopolitical level, some governments are looking at influence on a much more personal scale. In the United Kingdom, the government is focusing on the effect of social media on teenagers. Officials are proposing a voluntary overnight curfew for 16 and 17-year-olds. The plan would create a 6-hour lockout from midnight to 6 a.m. The goal is to encourage better sleep and focus. To support this, the proposal suggests deactivating features like autoplay and infinite scrolling by default. This follows a separate plan for a total ban on social media for children under 16, which is slated for 2027.